Hey, Goat Knucklers. Welcome back to another episode of Goat Knuckle Talk with Flo. I am Flo. This is episode 75. Man, we're coming on 2 years next month doing this little shindig. But it's our 75th anniversary, 75th episode. So, hey guys, if you want to keep watching this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, like the video, and leave a comment. So, further ado, let me go ahead and introduce you to my co-host, Lisa Nolan Hafner.
Hey, Flo.
Hey, what's up? So, who are these great, handsome men and Moe?
Oh, it looks like a motley crew to me. Well, we're welcoming back three of our esteemed classmates, Moe Evans, Steve George, and Robert Bradic. And then we are so thrilled to have some Plainsmen with us tonight. So Jay Douglas, David Hagood, and Norris Blount. I'm going to call out each one of you individually. Please tell me what year you graduated and where you're currently living. So we'll start with Jay.
Okay, I graduated in 1984, and I live in Lubbock, Texas.
Awesome. Norris?
I graduated in 1984, and I live in Waco, Texas.
Okay, not very far. David?
Yeah, I graduated Monterey 1984, and I live in Lubbock as well.
Okay, and so Steve, for people that have not seen you on our show?
Graduated in 1984. I live in Spring, Texas, down by Flo, suburb of Houston.
Spring. Moe.
Lubbock, America, 1983. I guess I didn't know. I thought y'all was all our same age, except for Jay and Steve. Huh?
Yeah. No, we're all 84.
Hey, Jay, tell us real quick. Tell us about, you didn't always live in Lubbock. Where else did you live?
I have lived in Montana, California, Kansas City, Phoenix, Arizona, Lexington, Kentucky, Amarillo, and Lubbock.
Wow.
You left out Plainview.
Wow.
Well, in Plainview, yeah. But I'm talking about since I was grown. I've been doing this business about going on 36 years. I've lived around the country a little bit.
No, I'm sorry. I was asking whenever you were in school back in but you lived in Plainview. How long did you live in Plainview and what years?
Second grade to eighth grade, middle of eighth grade year. So it seemed like it was maybe 79 or something when I moved to Lubbock. So I ended eighth grade here in Lubbock and started high school there as a sophomore.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what moved you there?
My mother. And against my will. totally against my will. It worked out fine, but I sure didn't want to leave. Yeah.
Hey, Jay, I got a question for you because that kind of happened to me from Hereford to Plainview. And then you and I became good friends in a very short period of time. Mm-hmm. Did you have a say-so or did you know that you were going to move? Because it was like overnight.
No, mine was pretty quick. I was told one night, and about 3 weeks later, we were gone.
Same thing happened to me. I came home one day at Hereford, and Dad said we're moving, and we moved like the next week. I had no say-so. All of a sudden, I was in Plainview.
Yeah, I mean, it all worked out. I can remember Coach Sherwood coming over to my house to visit with my mother when he got the news, and he tried to get her to let me live with Coach Witherspoon. And she said no.
Yeah.
I would imagine that would be really unnerving, completely off subject of what we're going to talk about tonight. But, those are middle school and high school are such formative years, and especially if you're an athlete. Walk, I just can't even imagine walking into a new high school and having to basically start over, making friends, proving yourself on the field, and that's got to be really challenging. Kudos to you guys. I can't imagine.
I mean, especially coming from a rival school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Both of you guys.
Made it real interesting. Steve and I, I always felt Steve and I were great friends, but we were also, I'll call it healthy competitors. I mean, we both, I know he made me better for being there. So, and I was always grateful that he showed up and pushed me the way he did. So.
So my question, David, and to Norris, did you guys welcome Jay with open arms, a guy from Plainview? Norris, you first.
Yes. I mean, Jay and I, we hung out together some, and I didn't have any really animosity against Plainview. And Jay came in and helped us, and I just remember him hanging out with Shane Gay and him getting us in trouble with Coach Gay, and just Jay was quite the character in high school.
What about you, David?
Are you frozen?
That's funny. My first memory of Jay is we went to different junior highs. Jay was Evans, I was Atkins, and we were 2 of 3 people, I guess, that got invited to Monterey spring practice as freshmen to see if we could make the varsity as a sophomore. And so Jay and I showed up there scared to death, all those big varsity kids at spring training football. And that was the first time I met Jay. And so he held himself, he did well, made the varsity as a sophomore, and off he went.
Well, so did you, David. I mean, we kind of had to carry that burden for that first year together. I do remember that vividly.
So were you
together?
guys?
That's right.
Did any of the upperclassmen? Was there any kind of initiation or hazing or anything like that as underclassmen?
A little bit, but we probably shouldn't talk about that on this thing.
Oh no, let's talk about it.
Yeah, this is the format to do it.
Yeah. It's kind of a long story, but I wouldn't say it was terrible. It was all in good fun, just like anywhere else. But guys like Gary Warren and Vance Singleton and Howard Alford. I mean, Moe, you and Bradic probably, and Steve remember some of those names most likely. They were men among boys when we were in high school, and they kind of did whatever they wanted to with you.
What about you, Norris? I mean, it's basically.
I just mainly remember being scared. Yeah. That's all I remember.
I mean,
every
did you guys,
every
in that
day.
same question, did you guys have like a welcome to the varsity moment?
Only Jay took care of all that. Jay was the one that was the prankster.
Well, I don't know that I had
one.
I don't know that I had any welcome to the varsity moment necessarily. All I remember is our coach, who was a guy named James Odom, had been there for years and years. He made a pact with me that he wasn't going to throw me to the wolves right away. And we went up to Canyon, our first varsity game, and he made me get out there and receive the opening kickoff, which I thought was sort of violating our pact. And of course, I run down the sideline, and a guy nearly takes my head off. And I remember standing there on the sideline thinking, okay, I'm not ready for this. I'd say that's the most notable thing I can think of when you ask that question.
Yeah, everything moves a lot quicker, doesn't it, Jay?
Yeah, it sure does.
There you are, Ronnie.
That
Robert,
made me think of something.
Go ahead.
That made me think of my welcome to the varsity moment was, I don't remember, it was early on, the second or third game, and we weren't very good that year. That's why they had Jay and I on the varsity. But it was a tight game, and at the end, the other team, whoever it was going for an onside kick. And so they threw me out there in onside kick recovery team, and I was the second line. I wasn't the first line, but I was in that second row of 5 people, and the guy did a little pooch kick. Instead of, just trying to drill somebody right away, he did a little pooch kick, and I remember just standing there watching the ball go over my head, just standing there, and some kid comes running by full speed and just lit me up. And Coach Odom played that back about 5 times on the film the next morning. And do you remember? You probably don't remember that, Jay, but it was awful. But it was quite a little. I was the butt of a joke for a long time.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
We'd never practiced it. They just said, "Hey, Hagood, go stand in this spot, and if they kick it to you, jump on it."
Yeah.
Nobody talked about them pooching it over my head.
And nobody talked about clocking you like that either.
No, that
No
was
fun.
that was a wake up call.
What about you, Mo? Did you have a welcome?
Oh, I guess my whole deal was, and I said this earlier, I was like, they always just mess with my mind saying, well, we're going to move you to the JV. And, hell, I was all district my junior year. And they just kept telling me my senior year, Witherspoon told me, he goes, hey, you'll probably be the only player in high school history that made all district as a junior and played JV your senior year. That always scared me to death. So I don't, I guess I think it was my sophomore first game I ever started. And I guess it's my junior year. And we were playing Estacada. It was a real wet, rainy game. And it was 0-0. And we're driving and we get down on the goal line. And I look down there and my mouthpiece is gone. And I didn't want to get a penalty because back then you didn't, I thought, I don't know. I called timeout. And Coach Sherwood goes, who called timeout? And I go, I did. And he goes, you're an offensive lineman. You're too stupid to call timeout. I put a dip of snuff in after that, and I played every play of football from then on with a dip of snuff and no mouthpiece. So
that's funny. That's funny.
That's
but I
true.
never thought another timeout ever. And even when I was coaching my kid, I'd get somebody else. I said, call timeout. I don't call them. I'm too stupid. So,
so Mo, let me ask the question because I remember that game when we were juniors and you and Bradic were seniors when y'all came down here and just handed our butt to us.
We did.
That night.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that, one of the things that'll be etched in my mind until I go to my grave is that was the night that Aubrey Terrell passed away.
Yeah.
Which was a terrible night for all of us. A bunch of us spent a lot of time at the hospital that night afterward. But I vividly remember, guys like Brent Richburg, Robert Bradic, obviously. I remember Ronnie Bradic in the backfield, and I always knew if you ever did make it past the linebackers, you better be looking for Ronnie because he didn't mind taking your head off, And then those two defensive ends. I think one of them was Randy Rogers. I don't remember who the other one was.
Randy Roberts
and Blake.
Blake Barton. Blake Barton.
Yeah. I just remember that game. Y'all just kind of wreaked havoc on us. I don't know if we just didn't come prepared or if you just all overwhelmed us like it obviously happened. But I didn't know, Mo, were you a defensive – you are on the defensive line, right?
I played defensive tackle and offensive tackle.
Yeah, and then Robert, were you linebacker with Richburg, or were you on the end somewhere?
I was the opposite of Blake Barton. I was the monster, and he was the rover.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I remember that.
You bring that game up, and Mo, I know you know this, and Robert, you know this as well. We talked about it. I remember Randy Roberts and Michael Weeks and everybody, all of us talking about it. But that was the best football game we played all year.
Yes.
Yeah. Y'all definitely came with everything you had, and it was real obvious. Now, don't forget though. I know Mo, you and Robert were gone the next year, but we did redeem ourselves a little bit the following year in Plainview. Hard fought back.
I've got that. When Coach Sherwood passed away, his wife gave me a bunch of videotapes, and I've got that game somewhere. And I did get I was watching it, and I sacked you, Hagood. I did not know till then that you was the quarterback back then, because we kind of knew each other later after. But I did sack you one time. So
Yep. Hagood was the toughest guy on our team. He was about the smallest, and he took the hardest hits, and he always got up and went for another one.
Well, let's talk about positions, Jay. What position did you play mostly?
I was as a sophomore and junior, I was a tailback, and then we did an I formation offense back then, and David was our quarterback, and then when we were seniors, that we brought Norris out of the defensive backfield so we did a split backfield. I was halfback, he was fullback, I guess what we called it. But we started that veer option, and it took us a little while to get that down. And when David finally figured out how to read those ends and pitch that ball the way he was supposed to, things started really happening for us. Yep.
So David, how long did it take you to read?
He may be frozen.
Yeah, looks like it. What about you, Norris? What about you, man? How'd you enjoy the veer?
I was just so naive then. I didn't care what we were playing. I mean, 1 year I was playing defense, and then because we had a shortage of, I think Billy Lance either quit or got hurt. We just ran out of offensive players, and so Coach said, "You're going to play offense now." Okay.
Yeah.
So off I went.
It worked out pretty well for us, I'll tell you that. If you ever, I know you guys only played Norris once or twice, but if you ever got Norris turned north or headed to the goal line, he was awfully hard to catch and stop.
Jay, you were too.
Yeah, he was.
Don't kid yourself. You want to let everybody know what you ran the 100 in back then?
It was a long time ago, Steve.
Well, I tell you what, I can't tell you how fast you were. You were unbelievable.
Well, yeah, it was. I don't really know what happened, now that you mentioned that, because I can remember as a 7th and 8th grader, and in Plainview, I was probably 3rd fastest or something. I don't remember. I mean, Steve, you and I were about the same as I remember. Guys like Roy Thompson and some of those guys could run like deer, and I got to Lubbock, and I don't know what happened overnight. I was just outrunning everybody. I'm just a God thing, I guess, because I didn't do anything different. It just happened.
The track days.
Yeah. Norris and I, we can tell you lots of track stories.
Lots of track stories. Yeah.
Hey, David.
Hey. So Jay, what was it like the very first time you played against Plainview?
A little nerve-wracking for me, and I don't remember when I was a sophomore. Like David said, we weren't very good. We were kind of discombobulated as a team, and I don't remember playing Plainview as a sophomore.
I'm back. Sorry, guys.
I vividly remember playing you guys as a junior and then again as a senior. For me, and it's probably different for me because, all you guys were my buddies growing up, and all those formidable years, we were all pretty close. So I was always pretty nervous about it and wanted to play well and didn't it was probably for me a little more competitive than maybe some of the other games just because they were guys that I knew and grew up with.
Well, as a team, and this is probably I'm going to ask this to David and Norris. When you knew that you were going to be playing Plainview, did y'all prepare differently? I mean, obviously everybody looks at film, but being such a big rival, was there a different preparation to play Plainview?
David,
I don't know, Norris, you, David, yeah. What do y'all think?
David? There you go.
Norris or David? Either one of you.
I just remember, I think it's our junior or senior year when we played Plainview in Plainview. I remember Coach saying, "Hey, the coach from UT is going to be here. They're flying down the helicopter and all this other stuff." And Coach, I don't know, it was Coach Odom or what. They split me out to receiver, and so we wore Plainview out just throwing the ball. They started me off doing sweeps, and they say no. I remember I scored a touchdown on playing receiver. And so he had some special plays in there just for Plainview.
Yep. I'll chime in here real quick. After we got beat so badly the year before, we no doubt did some extra prep, even the coaching staff, to get ready for Plainview, because my recall, at least those junior and senior year, it was always Hereford and Plainview were our biggest, not our biggest rivals necessarily, but our biggest competition for sure. Yeah. I'd say Coronado, just being the crosstown school, that was obviously our biggest rival. But, it was always between Hereford and Plainview and Monterey, at least those 2 years.
Yeah.
So, David, you're back, huh? Can you hear us?
I'm sorry about that. The internet went wonky for a second.
That's okay.
Okay.
Well, Lisa, won't you ask David this question again?
Yeah, the question was, did y'all prepare differently for when you were playing against Plainview?
Well, I heard what Jay said, and I think that was exactly right. It was such a beat down the year before that we were just a little more focused, maybe. And Norris, I remember what you said as well. We went out of that split back veer for most of the season, but mid-season we started moving Norris to tight end, and so we would have two split outs, two tight ends, and then Jay by himself in the backfield, and that opened up the passing game quite a bit, especially for those teams that would play one safety. And so we would send Jay and the other tight, or we would send Norris and the other tight end straight down the field, and then just let me see where the safety went, and then I'll just throw it to the other guy. And the offense went crazy when that started. Do you remember that, Norris?
I do. I mean, we discovered we had a quarterback who could throw the ball. And in high school, you have a quarterback that can throw the ball and someone can catch it, it causes problems.
Yeah.
We wish
I
we
only
would have
had
had
to,
one.
yeah.
You guys had a stud back there. I know that.
So I guess that was the
Yeah,
score.
that's not
28
true.
to
That's
0.
right.
Okay,
I'll tell
so
Yeah.
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, since we're talking running and passing, one of the things I took away from that season, and I don't remember, I was reading some stats or something after the season was over, and I just happened to notice that Norris and I, if you combine our receiving and rushing yards, he had more receiving, I had more rushing, but we almost had identical yards for the year in total, which I thought was kind of cool.
Nice.
That is very
Yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah.
David, earlier, Jay brought up that you guys ran the veer your senior year, and he said it took you a few games maybe to get used to it. So can you explain that or tell us more about the difficulty of reading your line, defense?
Yeah, I mean, I would say Jay remembers that exactly right. It was pretty much singularly my fault that we went 0-2 to start the year and scored 3 points in both of those games, maybe. And once I did figure it out, we got a lot better, and we started scoring 30 points a game pretty regularly. It was so bad. I don't remember. It was the second or third game of the year. We were at Hereford, playing in Hereford, and we had changed the scheme a little bit. Instead of reading the veer off tackle and pulling it or not pulling it and going around for the pitch, we had a designated play where we just handed it inside the guard on the 2-hole, and it wasn't a read. It was just a 2 dive. And I was handing that ball off, and he was getting plastered, whoever was getting the ball. And at halftime,
Probably
Coach
me.
Gay,
Hey,
Coach Gay grabbed me by the face mask, and he thought I was supposed to be reading that, and I wasn't. And he asked in front of the whole team if I was drunk. He said, "Hagood, are you drunk? You can't read that veer for anything." With all while grabbing my face mask and dragging me around the locker room. But it wasn't long after that I got better.
So you were like sunshine from Remember the Titans.
Well, I got a
That's
question. Right. I got a question for the guys at Plainview. We're talking Hereford a little bit, and David mentions that. Yeah, I know there was at least a handful of those times I was the one getting plastered when he'd hand it off. But I remember a guy at Hereford, and I'm wondering if you guys. His name was Lee Brockman, and that guy was a monster. I remember he beat me up so bad that night I couldn't even sit down in the bus on the ride home. I mean, I was hurting too bad. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, I remember him. Big guy,
Yeah.
solid guy.
Yeah.
Really solid.
Well, he ended up playing. He played linebacker at Texas for I think 3 or 4 years with Brett Hagood that came out of Permian, and they grew their hair out and they wore those Fu Manchus. I mean, they were pretty bad.
Robert,
Yeah.
you were in Texas. Do you remember that? Robert.
Did we
Hello,
lose Robert?
Robert, can you hear us?
I can barely make anything out. Anybody's saying. I'm having a hard time with this. I apologize. It's just really unstable, and I don't really know why. I was on for about a half an hour before we started, had no problems. And again, I guess when we went live, and I'm trying to fix it now. That's all I can. I don't know what you guys are saying, really.
Robert, can you
Forgive me.
Yeah, can you hear us? We're asking you if you remember Lee Brockman from Hereford that ended up playing at Texas. No.
What was that again?
Do you remember Lee Brockman from Hereford who played at Texas?
He was younger than me. He was Ronnie's age, Ronnie and David's age. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I had moved on when he got there.
Yeah, because Rick Hager was younger than Robert too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jay, you mentioned your toughest opponent. That was our next question. Norris, who's your toughest opponent? Let's start with Plainview. Who's your Plainview player that gave you gave you a little headache?
To be honest, I really don't remember. I just remember they were a big rival. We know that they were going to hit hard, and we had to be ready to play. And we loved when we beat them because they were the team to be. Even though they were a 4A, we were 5. They could easily been a 5A, but we just knew that going to Plainview was going to be a tough match.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, David?
Trying to remember, what was the guy's name? He played either defensive end or outside linebacker when we were for the '84 graduates. His name was McAdoo or
David McAdoo.
I thought did he go off and play at U as well?
Yeah, he went to Texas.
He went to Texas.
Okay, I thought so. Well, that takes me back to more of that read option, and right before half game in Plainview, our senior year, I faked the dive, I pulled it, took a couple of steps, and I pitched it, and he lit me up, and I made it to the sideline. And, Andy Shepard was one of our trainers, came to me and said, "Hey, you talk a minute." And so he said, "What did we have for the pre?"
We're losing David.
Okay.
Yeah, we're losing
Yeah,
David.
All right, Mo, what about
have, and then I had a
David? You're freezing up again.
Yeah. Michael, I think I'm going to pass out all iPads to everybody next time. Just saying.
I hear you, Norris. I hear you. I'm on a laptop, though. I'm on a laptop.
Yeah, Mo. What about you? Who is your toughest opponent over in Monterey side?
There was that game. What I always remember is they had the guard over me was Randy Carmen.
Yeah,
and he stayed on my knees all night long, and then the offensive tackle or center would come. They chopped me all night long.
Be Jay Louder.
I was sore after that game, and I always thought it was Ross Alexander, and so Ross and I have kids the same age. I thought Ross was a dirty SOB, and I told him that. And he goes, "Well, why would you say that? Because Ross is as nice a guy as you'll ever meet."
Yeah.
And I said, "Because you held and you cut me and y'all chop blocked me that whole game." He goes, "That wasn't me. It was Randy Carmen." And I knew Randy, and I got over Randy pretty good. And he says, and Randy touched me in places that I've never had a man touch me before. We were really close, so we were married after that game. I know,
Yeah.
Was that an Odom teaching style there?
I don't know. Might have been a Coach Crutcher style or something.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
I'm
about you,
curious
Steve?
I want to hear from Steve on some of that.
Golly, I mean, I remember our junior and senior year games. I don't remember. God, I had Randy Williams in the backfield. I had Roy Thompson. I had Tim Coleman. I had Flush. I had, all I had to do was hand the ball off, and I mean, it was pretty easy. I remember, in Monterey hitting Greg Carter on a fly route. I underthrew him just a hair, and he got tackled, or otherwise he would have scored. But otherwise, I remember I really liked playing in Lubbock and Monterey's, in that stadium. It was always down in the bowl, and always enjoyed playing there. So we always played good there. We didn't play good against them in our senior year, but I always remember having, great memories in that bowl.
Well, let me ask this. Was there a wind factor at all? I mean, did it swirl, or did the wind didn't affect you guys?
I don't remember. David, you might remember that if there was any wind.
He's frozen again.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys remember, while we're talking about venues, when we came up as seniors? What I remember about that night, there was a bunch of balloons hanging. I mean, big hot air balloons hanging up above the bleachers, and a bunch of hype. And then what I seem to remember was the police escorting you guys out on the field. I mean, it was quite a production that night. Do y'all remember that? Is that something y'all did every game, or?
I don't remember a police escort. Mo, do you?
No, I just remember, we'd always kind of pack up and walk out, but I don't remember really the police deal at all.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't remember a lot of it.
I just remember some motorcycle police out there. It's kind of what I remember about it, but it's only been 45 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Maybe they got escorted because the previous year we got tomatoed and who knows what else. We had some twirlers on, and I was there. I was a varsity cheerleader one of the games in Lubbock, and we had some of your fans throw tomatoes at us.
Well, no, this was in Plainview.
Oh,
this was in Plainview.
I don't remember
that night. I will say this, and I don't think we ought to leave this call without talking about how great Greg Sherwood was as a coach. I had more respect for that guy. I used to run into him on an airplane from time to time when he was in Lubbock as the AD or whatever he was, and we'd always have a great conversation. But what he brought to Plainview and to that program was just phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more, Jay. Couldn't agree more.
What's good about him, he also brought the band. I mean, he was a big supporter of the band.
Okay.
And
just everybody in
the
school
band and the community. I mean, it was a huge thing. So
that spirit, when he come out when that angry red enough said and all that came out, I mean, spirit just went through the roof in that town.
Yeah, he impacted the community, and things changed for Plainview. Hey, before we move further, I have a question for Steve. So, how did y'all lose a lot of players on the team when we graduated from 83 grads?
Quite a few. I mean, you start thinking about the starters that we lost, especially on defense.
Yeah.
Right.
That would have been, Randy Roberts, Blake, Moe, Robert.
The whole the defensive backfield,
Defensive backfield, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely. We still had the backfield. I mean, Randy and Roy, and we still had our backfield, but the whole line was different too. We were a completely different team our senior year because we lost a lot of really good players. Yes.
So it was kind of a rebuilding year for you guys.
Yeah, and we didn't make the playoffs. I mean, we lost the coin toss.
Oh, wait a minute, Steve. You talking about now? Our senior year, we lost. It was Hereford and Plainview and Monterey, and we lost that toss. So I thought y'all and Hereford went to the playoffs our senior year.
No, only one team made it, right?
No, they took two.
They
took two. We made it our junior year, and I don't remember if it was you all or Hereford or who it was, the other team, but we made it our junior year, and we got beat pretty bad by Permian right off the bat. And then the senior year, we lost the flip.
Mo, did we make playoffs your senior year?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did.
Central.
Wasn't Amarillo
San
High
Angeles.
in that mix too?
Yeah, we won district that night.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
At Monterey.
Monterey.
Yeah. Yeah. And so our junior years, you all went and we went as the two teams from the district. And then senior year, you all and Hereford went.
Yep.
Who did y'all play? Who did y'all play your senior year in playoffs?
San Angelo. San
Our
Angelo,
senior
right?
was San Angelo.
Okay.
See, San Angelo was my junior year. My senior year, we lost a coin toss. I remember because I was handing out oranges with Britt Richburg for FFA that Saturday morning. And my dad came down and pulled us over and said we lost the coin toss. We were out of the playoffs.
Well, hey, David and Norris, I mean, what am I missing? Because I knew we had a three-way tie with Hereford and
No, it was a four-way tie. It was Amarillo High was in that mix too, and Amarillo High and must have been Amarillo High and Hereford that won the toss.
I think it was both of us that got knocked out.
Yeah, and I believe firmly that we were the two best teams in the district at the end of the year.
Yeah,
for sure.
Wow.
I would agree.
Luck of the draw, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a question that's going to sound kind of like the question Michael asked, but it's not. It's a difference between facing your biggest opponent, but who did you look forward to squaring off with? Like, that didn't have to be like your nemesis, but somebody that you just really, you couldn't wait to play them. Mo, I'm going to start with you.
There was there was a kid in Amarillo High, and his name was Jeff Jordan, I think. And he played center, and he was probably he was littler than me, but boy, he had some just great technique, and he was probably the hardest guy that I ever went up against on defense was him.
Okay.
Cool. Norris, what about you? Was there anybody that you really just looked forward to squaring off with?
I guess the guys from Coronado. I remember the free safety for Coronado. I don't remember his name. Big kid, ran track. I think his name was Marino.
Yeah, Edward Marino.
But I always liked playing against Coronado.
Why is that?
Just to beat them because they were our crosstown rivals. They talked a lot of noise. Marino was pretty good, and I just remember Jay and I we just ate him up on. We just outrun him. You have an angle, gone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia. We're in the end zone.
Yeah. Yeah. And talking about outrunning people, you talk about things you remember, and we're all different what we remember, but I remember that game in Plainview vividly, that senior year, and like it's kind of funny how you remember things. But Craig Etheridge, I think, was one of y'all's defensive backs, and I remember breaking a play, and I was kind of running down the sideline, and I saw him, and he kind of had an angle on me. And I thought, well, I'm going to outrun him, and the turkey caught me. And I thought, damn, he's faster than I thought he was.
Yeah.
He was sneaky fast. He sure was.
Yeah, he really was. Yeah.
He probably had long stride because he's not fairly tall, but he's not short.
Yeah.
And I always remember him long legged. So.
Well, I would expect that from a Ronnie Braddock or something, but I was not expecting that from Craig when I realized who that was that caught me.
Okay.
Jay,
Everybody-
so
Sorry, Lisa, go ahead.
no, I was asking the same question to Jay. Is there anybody you look forward to squaring off with?
I was never a guy that was looking for a run in with anybody. I'd prefer to always run around people instead of try to run over them. And I was always kind of more sensitive to my own pain maybe than some other guys. But I will answer that question this way. I can remember, and since Robert's on the phone here, since I was in the 5th grade, I was always petrified of Robert Bradic. And even in high school, I wanted to make sure that I ran pretty clear of his space because I didn't want to run into him. So I did not want to square up with him.
So, Jay, I remember having a conversation with you. We were in high school. I don't know where we ran into each other. And I remember you sharing, man, I do not want to play Robert Bradic. I do not want to play that Robert Bradic.
No. I'd seen him mess some people up, and I just didn't want to be one of those.
Man, I wish he was on because he mentioned a story. He told me a story the other day that Gary guy,
Gary Warren,
he said there was a play where he just destroyed Gary to get to you. I mean, he just ran over him.
Yeah, and Gary is not a small man. Yeah, you didn't see Gary get run over very often.
Gary was a hell of a player too.
Yeah, he sure was. Yep.
David, what about you?
I would say it was Coronado as well. I remember vividly the newspaper the Saturday morning before we played. The Saturday morning after we played Coronado our senior year, it said something about in 1972, Little House on the Prairie was just coming on the TV, and that was the last time Coronado beat Monterey. Something like that. We'd beat them like 18 years in a row. And the newspaper was talking about Little House on the Prairie, and I thought it was so funny. And but Jay made me think of something. When I was cutting out earlier, y'all mentioned Jay Louder. He was our center. And he this is our senior year now, so we were playing Coronado in that senior year game, and we were running that split back veer like y'all were saying, and Coronado did something nobody else had ever done, and they took their 2 defensive tackles and they split them wide, and then they took their 2 linebackers and they put them right behind the defensive tackles. And so if we ever just needed 3 or 4 yards and they did that, I would just tap Jay on the butt and he would go hit one of those linebackers, and I would just try to get the 3 or 4 yards on a little quarterback sneak. And oh my gosh, is that again? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're kind of cutting out there.
I can't believe, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
In and out.
Yeah.
Steve, Andrew, I'll go to you, Steve.
I think it's probably against either Hereford, but, Moe and I have talked about this in the past. I hated playing Lubbock Estacado.
Yeah.
And it was always the first game of the year, every single year. And I just remember, for some reason, they always had these guys that would just light you up.
Yeah.
And I don't care who you tried to outrun, what angle you had, they would just light you up. And we always would beat them, but it was always just a whooping.
A dog fight. Yeah.
Yes.
I could echo that same thing. Steve, I mean, they were, you came out of that game beat up every time.
Oh my gosh. Every single time. And they would give you all you wanted.
Yep. Yeah, if they ever got your number early, it was going to be a long night.
Yep.
All right, David, you look like you're in business. You want to finish that story?
I'm on my phone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I guess I'm getting throttled on the nighttime internet here. I don't know what's going on. But so they split the tackles, they split the linebackers, and there was, a nice little hole right there. We were about midfield, and I tapped Jay on the butt, and he took 2 steps, and Nicky Nunley was the middle linebacker for Coronado, and he was a big, mean guy, and Jay caught him just right and got up under his chin and pancaked him backwards, and I was able to squeak by, and luckily it was only midfield because Bruce Perkins was one of their cornerbacks, and he was like a 100-meter champion, but he didn't have enough room to catch me and went all the way. But Coach Odom ran that film back. Do you remember that, Jay?
Yeah,
Norris,
I do.
When Jay pancaked Nicky Nunley on that play, he ran it back 4 or 5 times because he just obliterated him. It was a great day.
Yeah, you never saw people pancake Nicky Nunley very often.
I remember the name.
I can't hear anybody. I hope you could hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Well, kudos to you, Jay.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't me. It was Jay Louder.
Oh, Jay Louder. I thought it was
our center. Yeah. No, I don't think I could have pancaked Nicky Nunley on my best day.
And happened against Coronado. It was fantastic. But that kind of merged 2 of those stories about. I wasn't very fast. Jay and Norris were our fast people, but it was fun to beat Perkins to the end zone that day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't Coronado had a short kid? And I think his dad was a coach at Tech. Chris Moore.
Chris Moore. Yeah, his dad was Jerry Moore at Tech. Chris Moore.
He was Robert Newhouse, like
solid
size, big around.
Was he 83, 84?
He was 80. He was 84,
85.
wasn't he?
No, he was an 85 grad. He was the year behind us.
Mo and Steve, you remember playing against him?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I think we knocked him out in the first quarter on the sideline.
Wow.
I know him pretty well just because from his dad, but he was something else, and because he went. He played up there at Tech for a little bit. And when his dad was there, when they fired his dad, we had an open week. And so Chris had a big party at his parents' house. And I found a gun, was playing with a gun, and just pulled the trigger. I had never done it ever since, and shot a hole in the wall, and that blowed the party up. So it was kind of a bad time.
God.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Way to go, Mo.
Lucky. That's all it was.
Who knocked out Chris out of the game?
I want to say it's probably Bradic or Blake. Because I remember because they were kind of talking him up real good, and he didn't play much. We wore them out. We wore them out probably that year. I'll say it is about as bad as we did y'all, because we hit after that Hereford loss. We started rolling pretty good.
Yeah, y'all were real stout that year. Real stout.
And they were. Yeah, that was a fun game. Y'all's game was fun too. I probably remember more of y'all's game, and I don't know why than I do of any of them. That for some reason I don't remember much, but. He's talking about that Aubrey deal, and I was talking about getting chop block, and I can remember getting to the top of that hill, and Aubrey Terrell had a laugh that was just from the belly up, and I remember hearing him laugh, and I just Aubrey was a good man, he was 42 years old.
Yeah,
my dad was with him. Carl Weidenbach was with him. Who was his doctor,
Who was a physician,
Yeah. But I remember hearing him laugh as I just got to the top of that hill because I hated walking up that damn hill. It was hard.
Yeah.
And we wore the most slick cleats, and it was it was getting up there.
Well, right after that happened, Mo, our coach Odom got on the bus. We were getting on the bus to go back to our field house at Monterey. He got on the bus. He stopped the bus, got on there, and told me that Aubrey had passed, and of course I got back to the field house, went and met some of you guys at the hospital after that. But
my dad come in there and told me, and me and B were dressing right next to each other, and
they
went and
well, I'll tell you
And
what,
you
Coach
said something
Odom.
about- you said something about Coach Sherwood being a good man, and Coach Odom, I run into him quite a bit. The first time I ever talked to him is we were taking how the Baptist Church always takes the family pictures for the directory, and I was walking up there, and he goes, "Don't tell me your name." This is 25 years ago, and I said,
Yeah.
"Okay." He goes, "He's a 3 technique for Sherwood, wasn't you?" And I go, "Yeah, I was." And then up here in Lubbock, they do something really neat. But they have all 4 high schools on Thursdays. They have a coaches luncheon, and he still goes to that. He's getting around pretty bad, but he's still up, and I go to that 2 or 3 times a year, and always sit there and talk to him a little bit. But he was a good man too. It seems like.
Yeah, well, one of our classmates here, sometime not too far back, They took a bunch of news clippings and stuff, or news reels, and they put them into one big long video. And it was like the 83 and 84 year, the years we're talking about. And one of the games that they had some stuff on was that game when you guys came to Lubbock that night and beat us so bad. And the press was interviewing Odom after the game, and I just remember all he said, our kids played their hearts out. They just had a lot more hosses than we got. That was his answer. Yeah.
Hey, I've got a question for Norris. There was a guy named Greg Goebel. He's from Hereford. He posted on the promo of y'all's show, and he mentioned the 82-83 game against Hereford. I think you broke up a pass that could have. Hereford could have won the game. Do you remember that?
You talking about Norris? It would have been
yes.
Norris. Yeah.
Yeah, Norris.
Yeah.
I do not remember that, but
okay. You
so
David or
ago.
Jay, do you guys remember? He said if we would have caught the pass, Hereford would have won.
Yeah, what I do remember
That was
about
probably
that
the year
last
that we
2 years.
beat them 6-0, and that was opening game of the season our junior year.
Yeah.
I don't remember that specifically either. When I think of Norris, all I can remember is the 109-yard interception return against Lubbock High. Does anybody else remember that?
Yeah, that was a record for sure. Yeah, Hereford, we always just barely got past Hereford because they were at the front end of the year, and we beat them junior year, and then they beat us, I think, 7-3 or something our senior year that year.
The thing I remember most about our senior year is starting off 0-3. And I remember Coach Gay said, "Oh, y'all starting to leave your own press." And then we ripped off 6 straight. There's maybe 7 to end of the year. And I think that I really, truly believe that was a year that we were going to beat Permian, but we lost the coin toss in the story. We were on like you said, Dave, we had figured out the veer. We had figured out, hey, we got a quarterback that can rip the ball down the field. I mean, we had
a good defense.
Good, all for naught because we lost that coin toss, but we started off 0-3. Then we ran 6 or 7 in a row.
I've always wondered had we gone and played Permian again,
That's right. And that was the year that Odessa Permian was down a little bit, and we were in Permian's side of the bracket, and we would have had to face Midland Lee won state that year, and we were on the opposite side of the bracket from Midland Lee, so we wouldn't have had to play them for a while.
Right.
We might have played for a little bit if we could have just gotten in.
Yeah, I think that was the year that we were going to make a run because we had figured it out. We were pretty good, but you can't start the season out. Well, again, today they take everyone to the playoffs.
Everyone goes. Everyone goes. Today.
It's like all the kids now get trophies.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
So, what you guys from Plainview? What's your recall when you guys were prepping for Monterey those last 2 years we're talking about here? I mean, was there anything different y'all were doing? I mean, what were your thoughts around all that?
Man, Steve, you might remember something. It's just another damn football game. Let's go.
Yeah, I remember. I remember Sherwood talking up Jay and David and Norris. There there were a few other guys. You guys had a lot of talent. I remember them building us up, and you guys were ranked in the state as well. I mean, we were all ranked, all of us, and
Yeah.
Sherwood had a special way of basically scaring the shit out of you. Thinking they were absolutely, you're going to play the best team in the state every single week. So
You're right. Right.
And never raised his voice or said a bad word doing it. So
well, the only time I remember as a freshman, they called a few of us up to go when they were in the playoffs, and we were hanging out with them. And I remember being in the locker room before we took the field, and I'd never ever heard Coach Sherwood raise his voice. But the only time we would hear him raise his voice is when he would tell us, "Pack up, dogs," just at the top of his voice. And it would just send chills down your back, and you would just take the field.
Hell, I got one just now.
Yeah. Pack up, dogs.
Pack up, dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a great memories, I'll tell you. Really good memories of all that.
Well, Lisa mentioned, when we played, I guess our junior year there in Monterey, they got pelted with tomatoes. Norris,
Wow.
how did Plainview fans or community, as you guys are coming in and Plainview, how did we treat you guys? Do you remember any?
I thought they treated, I was just focused. I mean, I didn't hear about the fans or nothing. But I don't ever remember being treated bad anywhere that we played.
No, I don't either.
So there was no scuttlebutt from the fans?
No, not that I remember.
What about Lubbock High?
No, not really, Steve.
No.
I mean, I don't know about David and Norris. I mean, that wasn't a huge rivalry for us because we were always pretty dominant in that one. The big one was Coronado. There was all kinds of shenanigans going on before, leading up to the game and all kinds of stuff. And it was every year you could expect it, but just dirty talking and dead cows brought to your high school and all kinds of garbage.
Oh, you remember the brawl with Lubbock High at midfield after the game?
Me?
With us? Are you talking about us?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Did no Bradic start that or something?
No, I heard it was Carter. I heard it was Greg Carter.
I think it was Greg.
It sounds like Greg Carter.
Yeah, everyone treated us pretty well. I mean, we played when we would scrimmage Estacada. I remember playing those guys. They always have a few extra words to say because at that time I was the only black guy on the team, so they thought they were just going to come in and dominate us. And I remember in track, they would talk Norris, and we just go whoop their butts.
Okay. We never had to say a word. It worked out pretty good.
I guess Norris says, "Hey, at least I can spell my name." I guess.
I mean, they just look at us. Okay, they got one black guy on the track team. They didn't know Jay was black. Just go out there and get the stick and outrun him on the relay and everything.
They hadn't met Jay yet, had they?
Hey, I don't know. Love it, guys. I mentioned this to Norris earlier. Because I wasn't for sure if it was him, but there was a Lubbock. I know he played baseball. He may have played football as well. He was a boxer. He was a damn good boxer out of Lubbock. I think maybe 83, 85, 84. And you guys remember?
That was Orland Norris.
That wasn't him.
His little brother was Terry Norris.
It was Terry Norris, I think.
Yeah. Orland was his big brother. He was a heavyweight, and then Terry was smaller, flyweight or something. I think they were Dunbar kids, maybe.
Well, I heard that. I don't know if this is true, but he was in a baseball game. Either he took out a second baseman, or the other way around. But either way, there was a confrontation. And of course, Norm being the boxer, I mean, it didn't take him long to knock his ass out. I don't know if that's a myth or an urban legend, or if that's David. Was that true? Did you ever hear that?
I think Orland Norris would have been about an 84 graduate, and so Terry was younger than us, and so I didn't know him until he got famous. Doesn't surprise me. I'm happy to say that happened, but I don't remember it happening. It happened to the good legend.
Well, the
He was
only
a great
two.
boxer. Wasn't he the one that wore the? No, I'm mixing two boxers up now. But yeah, Terry Norris was a stud too.
Well, and David, I think you and Steve were on this call. You guys were the only two that played baseball in high school, right?
Well, I only played up until my sophomore year, and then I played golf. I went.
Oh,
golf.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know David played. He'd go from football to baseball, and Coach Odom, he wouldn't let us play any other sports but football and track for Norris and I. I mean, it wasn't even an option.
Yeah, wasn't even an option. But I doubt I could have made Monterey's baseball team because they were pretty good.
Well, you probably remember
really good.
Coach Magel tried to get Norris and I to come over to baseball, and Odom said absolutely not.
Well, I spoke to Kent Parr, who was a class of '82 from Monterey, and I asked him about their haircuts, them and Coronado's haircut. It's like almost military style. Yeah. And he said that he would on Fridays he would check the guys and make sure that they had their haircut. If they didn't, they wouldn't play. He said Kent said there were times that he had to sneak out of high school just to go get a haircut before the game.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Are you referring to Coach Magel? Are you saying Magel?
Yeah.
Yep.
Coach Magel was a stickler about. Yep. He was military, no doubt.
Yeah. So I played baseball. I played against those guys. I played against those.
Oh, that's right.
I even played against my sophomore year. Who was that stud? Steve Coleman.
Oh yeah.
From class of '81. That dude was a stud. So he was damn good.
Yeah. Yeah. Magel was an amazing coach. He really was.
He was a great player. We used to be practicing spring training football when baseball would be in session. And the way the practice field was at Monterey, had a real short kind of field in left center field from the baseball diamond. And then the southern goalpost was right there. And you'd be out there, and when he was taking batting practice, he'd putting balls into the football field regularly. I remember that plain as day.
Yeah.
So did Odom and Magel butt heads over that?
No. No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
Not that we were.
He was the only one doing that. Nobody else could hit it that far, but Steve could.
And his younger brother wasn't David his younger brother? Is that right? Hagood? David?
He's froze again. But
did Steve have a younger brother named David?
Yes, that's right. David was a '86 graduate.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't hear Jay and I can't hear Steve. I can hear everybody else. And so now that I'm on my phone, so I can't hear Jay or Steve. Sorry.
I think my ear. I think
David can hear me now.
Yeah, we're good.
God. But Flo, you remind. I forgot about Dunbar.
What happened?
I remember playing. Sam Collins was from Dunbar, and he played at Baylor. He was a really good player, but I forgot that Dunbar was one of the high schools in Lubbock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't remember Dunbar. Where Mo, we didn't. You guys didn't play him, did y'all?
No, we never played Dunbar. We played everybody but Dunbar.
Was they like a 3A?
I think they were maybe a 3 or 4A school. So we never did play them.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Dunbar, what I remember, I think they were a high school when I was a sophomore, but I think they closed it and moved everybody to different high schools, either Estacada or Lubbock High, or wherever they went, for our junior year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody, because I think, Estacada was new, and a lot of those kids went over to Estacada then or something, or they'd already planned. I remember something about it. So
yeah.
But I remember Sam Collins because he was a really good player at Baylor. But also I just remember he was just always doing something crazy. And so I remember our defensive coordinator, Pete Fredenberg, got him a job that year to keep him out of trouble in the circus. And I never forget that. Dude,
Circus.
like, you're in the circus? Like, what is going on? But yeah, keep him out of trouble. Had him in the circus working.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's funny.
Well, a lot of coaches always use like bulletin, like articles, or someone said something. Did Coach Odom or the coaching staff ever use any kind of bulletin clippings against Plainview? Norris?
No, all we need, the motivation we needed really, if you played defense, was Coach Gay. Coach Gay just had a way of he had the best. You couldn't put him on a microphone today, probably. He just had a special way of putting stuff, and he had you ready to play.
Yeah.
Jay, do you remember anything? Like,
Coach, it's funny that I agree with Norris. Coach Gay had a way of getting the most out of guys, whether you're running track or whether you're on offense or defense. It didn't make any difference. He just had that way about him. Coach Odom was more of a, and I don't know if it's because he had gotten older and might have mellowed out some or whatever, but he was a lot more subdued. And all I remember about Coach Odom, before every game, he made a point to come to me and just say, "You just need to bow up and run." He'd just say that. You need to bow up and run. And that's all he'd ever say. Okay, Coach.
Bow up and run.
Yeah.
Hey, Mo and Steve, what about us? Did Coach Sherwood or any other coaches put in any clippings or against anyone, I guess? No?
I don't know. I remember our senior year, again, they always messed with my head, but Witherspoon was such a smooth talking guy, and this guy named Ronnie Stanhope come into Amarillo, Tascosa. And he was like 6'7", and I mean, built. I met him later at Tech, but he was anyway. Spoon told me, he goes, "Hey man," he had this article from Amarillo paper, and it was about him, how big he was, and they'd moved in from up north, and so Spoon says, "I'm gonna tell you something, Big Mo." He goes, I've been praying for you after I read this too." He goes,
I've been praying for you.
So we're ready to play, and I mean, we're fixed to play on, and I'm nervous, and I'm like, and so anyway, the first play of the game, I was supposed to stunt the inside gap, but he's playing offensive tackle, and I probably told Blake, I said, "Hey," I said, you take the inside. I'm fixing to go hit this sumbitch, and he had his arm wrapped up in a bursa sack. And I hit him. I didn't care about the ball or nothing. And they ran right behind him, and I stuffed the play. And we're on the bottom of that pile. And I look down there and I see that arm. Boy, I yanked that thing and worked it over pretty good. And he went to screaming and hollering, and he walked off. And after that series, I went and told old Spoon, I said, "That damn guy ain't killing me." So anyway, that's about the only thing. But to me, they would have us. So those coaches, our coaches would never raise their voice, and Sherwood wouldn't let them do it, and I mean, but to me, they just messed with my head, and they could get me. It didn't take me much getting ready to play because I love to play, but they'd just say stuff. We had Ed Moore, who's probably the best coach that Plainview ever had, that nobody ever talks about. Y'all know him from baseball. Great coach, and he could motivate you and never say anything, and I remember you'd get in the stance and he chewed Applejack tobacco. It's probably the worst.
Applejack tobacco.
Applejack chewing tobacco, and it smelled really good.
Wrapped in gum.
Yeah, but if you didn't have your hands right, he'd walk over and he'd spill on your hands or spill on your shoe. That's probably the most abuse. One of y'all said about grabbing a face mask. I think it's you, Hagood. We had none of that. But
wow.
but you'd smell old Applejack on your arm every day.
But Sherwood's kind of like a Tom Landry, wasn't he? Like
very much.
Yeah, he was. When he was mad, he would just stare at you.
Hey, I never drank a beer in my life or my whole time in high school, and because I was scared to death of Coach Sherwood. And I think I told this last time. He lived in my neighborhood, and it's hot, and I'm sitting out there mowing the yard, and I just got it done. I'm sitting on my chair out there looking at that pretty green grass, and had me a beer up, and I was drinking that beer, and he pulls into the driveway. I go to hide in that beer and everything. He goes, "You're 40 years old. I don't care if you drink beer or not." And so but respect is what we all had for him.
Yeah.
Hey, Moe, I think the coaches picked on you because you were so gullible.
I was gullible. I was just, that's all I ever wanted to do was get to play football,
But Moe, in your defense, a lot of those, Coach Parr, Coach Billingsley, they would talk everybody else up to get us motivated.
Oh, yeah. And I guess that's where I was going with the bulletin board material. They would talk to everybody. You just thought you was going to die every damn game.
Well, you thought you were playing the best team that ever existed every single week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't remember a lot of bulletin board material because back in those days, players didn't really – if you talked to the media, the coaches told you what to say. No one was talking trash. I mean, it was pretty scripted. And so there was not – I don't really ever remember bulletin board material.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys talk trash on the field?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
All right, Moe, tell us, share a story. What did you say to an opponent player?
I talked the whole time,
Like what?
Huh?
Like, go ahead, unfiltered, just say it.
we got a damn preacher on here. I ain't gonna get too bad, but I would talk about their mother, or
About their mother.
I mean,
At
just whatever.
18,
There was all kinds of bad things said, and I remember I was pulling one time against. Y'all remember Lubbock High had a little bitty Spanish guy. And his name was, he had the same last name, the same first name, Santiago or something like that. And he was about 5'3", and I pulled and I was too high, and he stuck his helmet right between my legs, and I'm laying down there on the ground, and I told him, I said, "I'm going to kill your little Mexican ass if I ever get up out of here." But it was stuff like that. I mean, there was probably some things that we said back then that you couldn't. They'd kick you out now, So there was.
You'd be canceled, Moe.
You would be canceled, man. You could be canceled really quick.
That's right.
Hey, Norris, does your mom still have that barbecue joint out there, west of town?
Still out there.
I used to go out there and eat some. I hadn't been out there in years.
Still
What was it called?
there.
Pals?
Powell's Country Barbecue.
Yeah. It was always good. I need to go back out there.
I'm going to go out there. I didn't know she was still out there. I'm going to go out there and buy lunch.
They love it. Yeah, I had some Terry Blacks. I said, man, this ain't real barbecue here. It ain't nearly as good when I'm used to having it 50 times the cost.
Yeah. So,
Very true.
What about you, David? You talk some trash.
I was 5'8" something and 140 pounds. I was a little choir boy.
Yeah. No, David and I didn't talk.
I didn't
trash.
say anything that I should.
Yeah. I don't remember anyone on our team. Maybe Gary Warren or Shane Gay or guys on defense, but we didn't talk a lot of. I mean, we just out there trying to score touchdowns and let your play do your talking for you. But yeah, I guess it wasn't that serious for us. But maybe some guys on defense would say some stuff.
Well, I'm sure. I'm sure down in the trenches there was a lot of that crap going on. But for me and David and some of us, not a whole lot of that. Not really. I do remember playing Hereford as a senior. and they had two pluggers, and Lee Brockman was one of them, and there was a little short guy, and I don't remember his name, but he was a real mouthy sucker the whole night. He was mouthy
Really
all the time. He was pretty much ineffective because the gorilla on the field was Brockman, and he never said a word. He just eats your lunch all night long.
I remember him, Jay. He was
remember that little sucker?
He had a older brother that graduated the year that was a DB back there.
Okay.
Graduated a year ahead of him. What was his name?
I don't remember, but I know he was. I remember him being real annoying. I mean, he just wouldn't shut up, and he never really did any damage. But I remember Brockman from the first play to the end of the game. I mean, he just wreaked havoc all night long.
Yeah.
You know, and never said. I don't think he said one word all night that I knew of.
Well, that same little linebacker, when we played him our senior year in Plainview, we threw a little dump pass over the middle to the tight end, and he came in and hit me and got me on the ground and scratched from my eyeball all the way down to my chin.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was one of those. If you get tackled, and y'all know this, if you ever ran the ball. I mean, there's a lot of punching between the legs and trying to scratch your eyes out, and just whatever they could do to hurt you while you're on the ground under a pile. And he was one of those guys.
Damn.
Mo, we ran that same play that we dropped.
Oh, to the against Hereford that next year.
Next year, and we scored.
Speaking of plays, guys, is there? I know David mentioned a play that really stuck out for him, but is there a play that, I mean, it has stayed with you for these 40-something years that just was a memorable play for you? I'm gonna start with you, Steve.
Like your ESPN moment.
Yeah.
Well, I think I have one that stands out. I have one that's positive, and then I have one that stands out that's negative.
Go for it.
I'll start with the negative. It was against Amarillo High. We're on the goal line, Mo, and time's running out. It's 4th down. We decide to go for it, and it's 6-3 or something like that. And Coach Sherwood decided to go for the touchdown. We ran sweep to Randy Williams, and he was telling me to keep the bootleg, but that end was staying out. But I still think I could have outrun him to the corner, and I gave it to Randy instead of keeping it. I wish I would have kept it.
Yeah.
That one definitely sticks out. We lost 6-3, Amarillo High.
Yeah.
I think probably the play that sticks out the most positive-wise was the Hereford year. Mo, you'd already gone. It was my senior year. We did throw the same pass that we dropped the previous year, and it scored. So I think that definitely does stand out.
Yeah. Good.
Awesome. David, what about you?
How you good? Can you hear?
I can't hear Jay or Steve. Sorry.
No.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Do you have
I can't hear Lisa either. I'm sorry.
She's asking you, is there a play, that just stands out in your Monterey career, good or bad? There's this particular play. Besides the onside kick.
That's right. That one's burned in. I guess it would be first game of the junior season, which would have we played Hereford. We talked about how we beat them 6-0, and the way that we scored that game was I got flushed out of the pocket hard to the right, and I'm running for my life and get close to the sideline. And I see Craig Wallace. He was one of our wide receivers.
Yes.
He was down there in the end zone, and I just kind of heaved it down there. And it ended up being probably 3 yards out of bounds. six feet out of bounds anyway, and he left one toe on the ground, and he reached out there and caught it while he was falling down, and it was just the most amazing catch ever. We beat those guys 6-0, and they were ranked in the top 10, I think, to start the season.
Yeah.
And we had knocked them off, and it was just such a great catch, and it made the news and the whole thing, and so Craig was a hero.
Norris, what about you?
2 of them against Plainview, 1 against Lubbock High. Plainview, we start off the game and we do a sweep right. I get about 10 yards, and it was just a stalemate for the rest of the night. And then they switched me out to tight end, and we just kind of baited. David started throwing the ball. We did a little curl hook. And then the 2 plays later, we did a hook and go. And David hit me on a perfect pass. And I think what was the final score of the game? But I just remember beautiful pass. I was like, just catch the ball, don't drop it. And I remember because that got our offense kind of going. And I think Shane Gage intercepted the ball, ran it back for, I don't know if he ran it back for a touchdown, but he intercepted the ball, so it sealed the game. And then against Lubbock High, we were playing those guys, and we were on the sideline, and I had a dip in my mouth, and we got a turnover, and I thought we were done for the night. Coach sends his first team back out there, and I remember making a tackle and all that dip, because it was the loose, it just went all over my face. That's what I remember.
Hey, going back to your hook and go, were you the hook or the go?
Both hook and the go.
He was tricky.
And we also Coach Odom was the first person I saw. We ran the remember David, I would catch the ball and then when someone lateral it to us. We did that play in high school. What they call it? They
hook and ladder.
Hook and ladder. We did that. And it worked.
Oh. What about you, Mo?
We would run 332 trap, and I love trapping people, and I love you'd make that block and old Tim Coleman go right off your ass, and watching him run, and that was probably that would have been I can still remember those. And I guess the worst one for me was San Angelo Central that last game, and we'd run a little reverse, and I would pull out, and the guy was I was fixing to hit him, and he turned his back on me, and I pulled up. I never touched him, and we score off of it. They cut right off me, and we score off of it, and they called it back on said I blocked him in the back, never touched him. And anyway, that one haunts me. You remember that one, Steve?
I do remember that.
Yeah, I never touched it. We got good everywhere, man. So
Yeah, I know.
y'all guys need to invest in some good internet.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Tell them, Mo.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Either that or get iPads, right, Norris?
Yeah.
iPads. I'm like, hey, they work.
So I need to remove one of you, David. Which should I remove? Can you remove yourself on one of them?
So, Mo, did you play at Tech?
Do what?
Did you play at Tech?
Yes, sir.
So you were there with Billy Joe Tolliver?
I was there with Billy, and Billy was 2 years younger than me.
Yeah, Billy was. I remember that dude had an arm. I remember dropping the interception. But the ball was coming. It was coming so fast. I mean, I'm talking, I had 6 points to the house. But, of course, I dropped the ball because that ball was coming like 90 miles an hour. That dude had an arm on him.
I would love to see Billy play today, or play during Leach's time.
Yeah.
But he couldn't run, but he could sure sling it back then.
Yeah, that dude had a gun.
And he was a damn good golfer too, man. I remember him playing those
pro-ams.
Yeah, man.
Pro-ams out in Nevada.
Yeah, and never touched the golf club till he got to Tech. So
Really?
Seriously?
Do what?
Wow. I said,
Yeah,
seriously? He's just a natural talent.
And then after he got done in the NFL, he worked for Bally's, and he's such a bullshitter that when they'd have a high roller come in, he was the NFL guy that would go take you and go play golf with you, and that's what he did for It's what he did for probably 20 years after, or 10, at least 10,
Wow.
15 years after he got out of the NFL. So
then you played with Gary Warren too, didn't you?
yeah. I see
Yeah.
Gary.
Mo,
Yep.
Mo, did you play with Timmy Smith?
Uh-huh.
I tell you what, that guy was a stud. And
Oh, Timmy. If he hadn't have got hurt and Timmy's a good guy. I talk to Timmy a lot. I talk to Timmy as much as anybody,
I'll tell
He
you,
got a Super Bowl ring. He got it with the
Yeah.
Redskins, and he broke the record for the most.
He still has
rushes
it.
for that.
Of course, hell, I could have run for 100 yards in that game the way that line was blocking it.
Yeah.
Most of he can run
So
back.
Timmy Smith's story. When I was there, I was at a party and he was there. We were all playing quarters, and he got me wasted. He picked on me. I don't remember what I said to this guy, but he kept you, Flo. Is that it, Flo? You. And I was like, I'm done.
yeah, he came
So-
in. He came in our sophomore year, and he's one of the few guys I saw just run right over Gary and keep going. He ran for like 270 yards on 19 carries against us, and then we ran against him in track. And the guy, he was a big old stout, and he could run like a deer. I mean,
He was from New Mexico, right?
from Hobbs.
Yeah, Hobbs.
Hobbs.
Yeah.
I hate Hobbs.
And he laughs like a Woody Woodpecker, And when he would break one, you could hear him, and he goes, So he was something else. But boy, he got A&M cheap shotted him in the end zone. I think probably his sophomore year and or junior year, and that he was never right the rest of the time in college. But he could have been something.
Yeah.
But he didn't care.
So sad.
Yeah.
Well, we've already heard from David and Mo, an opposing player, your worst hit on you. Norris, can you remember a player just knocking the crap out of you? I mean, it's got to be a player too.
No, I really don't, because again, I didn't start playing offense to my senior year.
Or
And
even
so-
defense, getting blocked.
No, not really. I mean, again, I didn't run between the tackles. I was running sweep, so no one really got a good hit on me. I was very fortunate.
Not even in
Wow.
practice against your own teammates? Nothing?
No,
So what you have over here in the right hand corner is a freak, and those freaks, nobody ever gets a shot at.
They
those.
avoid.
You know what I mean? And you try, but you never can hit a freak.
He's like a ghost.
That's what I remember. I remember you as just. I've seen.
What
a bunch
about
of
you,
them. You can't
Jay?
get 'em.
Yeah, I know you were fast, but man,
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
we can hear
yeah.
you.
Yeah, I can tell you hands down, it was old Lee Brockman. I'll never forget this as long as I live. First play of that game that night, we ran a little whatever it was, and I was supposed to just kind of fake a sweep off to the left. And Lee Brockman, I never saw him coming, and he hit me right in the ear hole. I thought it killed me because when I got up, I couldn't even feel myself walking back to the huddle. That was the first of a long night.
Oh my goodness.
Did you have a concussion?
My block off.
Did you have a concussion from that?
I'm sure I did. Well, what happened was that night, and Norris, you'll probably remember this too. Their strategy was to have Lee chase me around all night, whether I had the ball or not. And it got to the point where I was looking to run out of bounds because I did not want that guy to hit me again. And the other guy was chasing Norris around all night. And, so I'll never forget that because I literally thought he had just killed me when he hit me.
So we need to find this guy.
We gotta find this guy.
Put him on the show.
He was a great big old guy. He had biceps the size of tree logs, I mean,
David, who was our offensive coordinator? Who started doing that beer? I don't know if that was Coach Odom or Coach Gay. Who was the offensive coordinator our senior year?
it was Odom.
Yeah, but the best thing we did
Yeah.
when he said we're gonna let David Hagood throw the ball, it made life. I know it made life easier for you, Jay, because people had to actually couldn't stack, put 10 in the box.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, cool.
It made a lot of difference.
I think I remember that differently. I remember we went from throwing it like 5 times a game to throwing it 8 times a game, Norris. And so I don't know if we really unleashed it.
I hear you, David. I hear you.
I mean, we were playing with you. Got playing with the same way, right? You guys didn't throw as much.
No, we didn't throw any.
No, we didn't throw much.
Well, our senior year, we didn't have many receivers. Sorry, you guys.
You had those good.
My junior year, we threw a little bit, but we had all I had to do was throw it up to Dean Takel. I mean, tight end.
Yeah.
I mean, I could find him open all the time, so I just threw it to Dean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we had Kevin Short there and Kevin, man, if you got it anywhere in his area, he caught that ball.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we stopped them, but we didn't. But Kevin, I think Kevin stopped. He just started playing baseball full time. He didn't play our senior year, did he?
Yeah, he bowed out junior year.
Yeah, but that dude could catch the ball. Kevin, he could catch a ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we were talking a little bit ago about missed opportunities on plays and the good and the bad. And one thing that stands out to me is when we played Permian that junior year in the playoffs here in Lubbock, they really did beat the crap out of us. But we were trying to run a flea flicker as a trick play, and we probably ran it 100 times in practice pretty seamlessly. And when we finally ran it that night, David, you hit Craig Wallace right in the numbers. And as I swung by to take his pitch, he pitched about 3 foot behind me, and it was a touchdown. Had the pitch gone right, it was a touchdown. But,
Hey, so did you guys
we would
have
only
any?
got beat by 15 instead of 20.
Right.
Yeah.
So did you guys have any game day rituals or superstitious things that you did, like put your left sock on first? Or I know a lot of baseball players have that, but what about in football, Norris? Did you have any rituals or superstitions?
I did not. I just know I stayed out of the shower anytime afterwards because Jay Douglas came right peeing on people. That was my ritual. Stay out of the shower.
You weren't supposed to talk about that, Norris. We're on a podcast.
Oh no, we're here to talk about that.
I create shorts.
Talking to you like he was your friend, and watch this. I'm gonna pee on this dude.
I can see Jay doing that. I can see Jay doing that.
Yeah.
So that was my ritual.
I would just
stay out of the shower.
in line. Yeah.
I was going to say, I create shorts from these shows, so that's going to be a short of the peeing in the shower.
But Jay, he'd be out there, he'd be talking to him like nothing's going on, and next thing you know, like, this dude here is crazy. I'm not going to that shower.
Okay, well, Jay, did you have any rituals besides peeing on your teammates?
I will say this honestly. I always said a prayer before every practice and game. That was just something I got the habit of doing, and I asked for protection.
I guess protection from Robert Bradic every
from
night.
those guys.
Lord, please don't let Robert Bradic get me today.
Yeah, please keep it out of his space.
We don't play him till another 3 weeks, but please don't let him hit me.
I tell you, his younger brother Ronnie was a guy that would take your head off if you
True.
got it.
True.
Yeah, he hit real hard.
And Ronnie had speed.
Huh? Yeah, he could run too. You bet he could.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert's the only one over 6 feet, right? Ronnie and Victor were under 6.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I ran against Ronnie in track. I mean, he was quick.
Yeah.
What about you, David?
Yeah, thank you for
I didn't
asking.
really have anything either. I was just focused on whatever the next thing was, but I didn't have any superstitions really. I probably needed one or two, but I didn't have them.
Yeah.
Well, what about as
I
Monterey as a whole? Like Plainview, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. You guys wore your jerseys on game day and carried your helmet, correct? Did you guys do anything like that?
We had
Monterey?
we had team shirts, that had our number and our name on them, and we'd wear those, and then we'd wear them to the pep rallies. I remember on Fridays or on Thursdays, or no, I guess it was on Friday we'd wear those shirts, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
Mo,
Well, I'm going to
what
change
about
this.
you?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mo and Steve didn't get to answer the question.
We would, me and Bradic would sneak out a little early and go eat a McRib at McDonald's.
Oh, McRib.
Yeah, an old McRib. And then when we was going to the stadium, with every game ever, we listened to Rick James, Fire and Desire, and just sang our ass.
Are you serious? Rick James?
That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird driving with a man singing Fire and Desire,
Can you do that for us now, Mo?
Why not Super Freak?
I don't know. We like fire. We like Fire and Desire.
My Lord.
And then I'd throw up before every game. So there we go. So
yeah. Norris had us listed the Super Freak all the time.
Not Fire and Desire.
Not Fire. I know. That's weird, isn't it? Listen to that with Bradic. I don't know.
Right? Oh no, that'd be a good TikTok today.
It would be.
What about you, Mr. George?
I when Mo said he throws up before every game. Mo, do you remember us having to go and eat pancakes before every home game?
Yeah, that's what I threw up.
So that's what I would throw up too. And to this day, I cannot eat pancakes because for 3 years, every home game we would go eat pancakes and then have to go lay down and take a nap in the field house before the game, and then get up and start running and everything and be all nervous, and I'd have to throw those pancakes up.
Hey, Steve, is that something that they had y'all, the whole team do, or just something you guys
The whole team did it.
We'd eat pancakes in the cafeteria. And I guess before, if we had a road game, we'd eat them too, wouldn't we?
I don't remember.
Before we left? I couldn't remember.
Yes, y'all did in the cafeteria. You
We'd
sure
always
did.
eat those.
When did you guys eat those? In the morning or before?
No,
No, in the afternoon.
It's all that damn syrup you guys have been.
Oh,
I mean,
I cannot to this day have a pancake. Can't do it.
I damn sure can.
So I guess we'll never meet for breakfast then, huh?
I don't know what that was. So
yeah, what was the philosophy behind all that carb load?
It's carb loading, which was old school. I mean, that's what we did.
We need to go back and watch that Tomlin and Selke show. Tomlin, I think, explains why the pancake. Because the other group, well, maybe you guys or another group of football players mentioned the pancakes. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
So
they were bad.
Well, hey, let's go. I'm going to throw a little curveball at you guys. I'm going to start with David. High school, man, just a high school, not really sports related, but that involves these guys, Jay or Norris, or just what's something crazy that you just off the top of your head, do you remember at a party, driving whatever street you guys dragged?
You talking about a favorite high school memory?
Well,
yes.
I'm gonna go back. It just hit me when you said that, Flo. And so I've known Norris a long time. We played youth football together in the Washam Steelers. Remember that, Norris, way back when we were 11 and 12 years old.
Yeah.
And so Norris was just a regular old guy on the team back then. And then even a sophomore year at Monterey, he was still just one of the guys. But that summer, between sophomore year and junior year, he went off and spent the summer with his dad. And he came back after that summer, and he had grown about 3 inches, and he put on about 40 pounds. And he was a full-grown man. And he wasn't a full-grown man when he left. And it was just striking. And that's what that just popped into my head. And you remember, I know you remember worked hard to make that transformation. But, we didn't see him for the whole summer. He came back and he was a stud and he never looked back.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
But what people know, I was a year younger. So I graduated high school when I was 17. So I was behind. Everyone else had hit their growth spurt. And so that's the year that my puberty hit and bam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Looked
Norris,
like
do you remember? Can you share a story?
Get that.
Oh yeah, riding with Jay Douglas. If you ever rode in the car with Jay, we would stop at a stoplight and he'd go, Blunt, what if I just made you get out of the car and walk? What you gonna do? This dude here was crazy, man. And that's what I remember in high school with Jay.
I remember one of my favorite. I had a lot of favorite memories. One of my favorite memories was Norris and I in track, and we'd get on the bus. We'd get on the bus and go, wherever we had a track meet, and he always had a jam box with him. And he would crank that Rick James up and made all of us dance to it all the way to and from.
Yeah, and Coach K was pretty tolerant. He
was pretty tolerant of it.
I'm pretty sure it was Super Freak.
It was Super Freak.
Yeah, we had some good times on the track bus, man.
Well, Moe, what about you, man? You want to share?
What popped into my head. It's probably not a good memory for me, but you'll use this later on with D-Berry and I got Derek D-Berry. Remember when we'd go in the auditorium and take achievement tests?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had my arm back like that, and D-Berry bit me on my arm, and I sit back and hit him with something. I might have hit that board where we get kicked out, third day of high school. And so we get kicked out of it, and so they send us to McBee's office. I didn't know McBee, but he'd went to school with my parents, and he knew who I was. He's not very big, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. And so McBee, we're sitting there, and he says, "You got 3 licks or 3 days detention." I go, "I'll take 3 licks from you." And I want to tell you something. That man, he would hit you and then wait. He hit me so bad, D-Berry took, so I'll take D home.
He was our vice principal, guys.
So
he wasn't that tall.
He called my parents and he says, "I got that old big boy today." So he
was a lefty too.
Yeah.
He's
gonna be on our show.
Yeah, that's why I thought of that. You'll have to ask him about that, but he lit my fat ass up now.
Before we get to Steve, Moe, do you remember? It was one evening at Mars & Sons parking lot over on 5th Street, and we're all standing there, and then all of a sudden, I forgot who the guy came, and then a group of Hispanics came, and they wanted to fight this one kid. He wasn't with us, but he just. I want to say Paul something, but he just showed up. All of a sudden, there was a big brawl between you and Blake Barton and who else was there?
You know what? That was after we had already graduated. That was our first summer back.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. I'm sorry. Myron will probably never get on the show, but I remember Myron was getting his ass kicked, and he was yelling, "Moe, Moe, Moe,
yeah.
Moe!"
It was a big old fight out there. We was just out there drinking beer in that old Jeep, man, and I mean it got. And I remember
Blake
that.
Barton,
What was the biggest
Blake
fight?
Barton, somebody that I would not want to fight.
Who?
Blake Barton, somebody I would not want to fight.
Blake Barton ain't right, man.
No, well, this kid, there was one kid. We got a story. He was on PCP. He was short, a little stocky. He had a stick, and he was beating the crap out of Blake. I think Blake went to the hospital.
No, yeah, he hit Blake because Blake was backing him out on 5th Street, and I said, "He's fixing to hit you," and then he hit Blake and knocked him down. And me and Junior, Blake's brother, Brent Barton, we got him, and I was stomping on his face. I mean, jumping on him. I was trying to kill him because he hit me in the arm earlier with that damn bat. And anyway, Martinez, the cop, come over there and got behind me and grabbed me, and yeah, that was a hell of a mess that we were completely innocent of.
We were.
We didn't have any skin in. No, I didn't know anybody.
No, it was some kid. I forgot who it was. Some druggy kid who came and just, I guess he was running away from them, and he saw us, and he just like, you know what, these guys were protecting me, and I don't think he wasn't in the fight.
Yeah, we were. That was our freshman year out of high school, and was in college that first summer. Yeah, we was talking about that the other day. So, Myron got his ass whooped on that one.
He was going, Moe. I was laughing. What about you, Steve?
It's funny to sit there and listen to Norris tell stories about Jay. So I'm actually going to tell a Jay story too. So sorry we're picking on you. And we weren't in high school yet, and Jay had just moved to Lubbock. And like I said, before Jay left, we had become pretty good friends. And, he invited me up to Lubbock, and he'd already moved, and I went and spent the weekend with him. And I remember getting up Saturday morning, and we hop in his car and take off. And I'm like, I'm having to hang on because I had never ridden with any crazy driver like Jay. And we pull up to the donut. We pull up to the donut store, and I remember specifically leaving the house, and Jay's mom said, "Jay, you can't have any donuts. You cannot go eat donuts." So the first place he goes is he pulls up into this donut shop, and I said, "Jay, your mom just said you can't have donuts." And I just remember Jay looking at me. I can have donuts if I want to have donuts. He's always been that way. He's always been that way. Just doing exactly what he wants and living life to the fullest.
Why do you think she was saying no, Jay? Why was your mom not allowing you to eat donuts?
Well, because I was hypoglycemic. I had low blood sugar and the fear of diabetes and all that. So I had to stay away from sugar. And, I basically just ignored that, like Steve said.
You remember, Jay? You remember that?
No, I don't remember that. I don't remember half of what Norris says I did, but I guess I did.
Steve, I promise you, Steve, we would pull up to a light, and he was like, Blunt, what if I made you get out of the car and make you walk? I mean, the dude, every single time anyone rode with that, it's like, what is wrong with you?
I know.
That's funny. Okay, guys. Well, we're getting kind of close to the end. So before we always ask this for high schoolers, who was your favorite teacher? I'm going to start with, can David hear me? David, can you hear me?
Coach Crutcher.
I can hear you, yes.
Okay.
And that doesn't have to be coach. It could be just a regular teacher.
Yeah, a teacher. Favorite
I
somebody
think,
who helped you the most.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a little old chemistry teacher named Mrs. Culp. She was the sweetest little lady, and ended up taking chemistry as one of my sciences. And then instead of taking physics or something else like all the smart people did, my senior year, they had a class called Advanced Science, which was one semester of kind of second biology and one semester of second chemistry. And so I got her for a year and a half, and she was just the sweetest little teacher, and I loved her. She was great. Mrs. Culp.
Cool.
That's awesome. Norris.
I would say Coach Crutcher. He taught world history, and he was just a phenomenal teacher. And then I had a teacher in 8th grade, Coach. He taught me how to diagram. Back in when you had a diagram citizens, he actually inspired me. He's like, you are smart enough to do anything. Taught me how to diagram. And then that really, those two coaches I thought were just phenomenal teachers.
That's awesome. Yeah. Moe.
I want to say, Ron Miller. I liked him always. And Lisa Kirsch, I'd say that's probably my favorite one. And I remember Miss Berry. I saw her last week, and she was always a sweet lady.
My gosh, how old is Miss Berry now?
I don't know, but I saw them both. Oh, Joe looking a little old, but she looked she looked same sweet high voice, you know. She was
And I've been trying to get those two on, and they
won't do it.
They won't do it. And I even told Joe I passed by his alma mater every day, going to work and coming home, Prairie View. Yeah, nothing. Ghost.
Nothing. That'd probably be pretty fun.
Yeah, it would. I love to hear Joe. I mean, back when he was our choir teacher in 5th grade, right?
I guess I don't. He sang at my dad's funeral, so I got him.
Yeah, he was a 5th grade choir director.
Is that what he was?
Yeah, at Lakeside. Yeah. Okay. What about you, Steve?
I think I think I've answered this before, but Mrs. Bockham, my math teacher, and I was thinking about it even more. Mrs. Bowers, my physics teacher, was very influential with me, not only in high school, but college as well. And then another one that was a dear friend of my dad, and that's Larry McBee, and you're going to have him on. I see coming up soon. So I still keep in touch with Mr. McBee. We touch base every once in a while. I know he's living over in Ruidoso, but he's one of my favorite people.
Hey, I was asking Flo this the other day. How old is he now? Because he was pretty young when we were in high school.
Yeah, he's
in his 80s, isn't he?
He's right at 80, I think.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would he get mad if I say he looks like Steve Garvey from the old 80s Dodgers?
No.
That's why he was probably strong. And
he probably still has that paddle. He'll come get you.
He had those big old forearms, and he could
that's
swing
what
that
Steve Garvey.
Man.
Yeah. Well, he could.
Am I saying it right? The Dodgers player, was it Steve?
Yeah,
Steve
Garvey.
Steve Garvey. Yeah, he just ran for some political office out in California.
Yeah,
he did, didn't he?
Yeah. Jay, you're the last one. Yeah, sorry, Lisa.
No, go ahead.
Oh, there's a lot of them I could name. I guess the one that stands out the most was a lady named Mrs. Meeks, and she was a typing teacher there at Monterey, and I was always really crazy about her. We clicked pretty good.
Was that old Mike Meeks' mom?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, Christy Ade just said he's my dad's age, so 83.
See, so my mom and dad, my mom's 84, and like I say, they went to school together. So,
okay. Well, guys, we're gonna get into our parting words, but before that, Monterey guys, I didn't start drinking beer until my mid-20s, and it was because of two guys from Monterey. I think they were 84, Paul German and Mark Abbott. Do you guys remember those guys? Do you remember?
I know Mark Abbott.
Mark Abbott and Paul German, and there was a girl named Vanessa something. But anyway, they would say, "Hey, let's go to Pizza Hut." I'm like, "Why? Drink beer?" I said, "I don't drink beer." Well, I kept going and kept drinking. And now I'm a beer drinker because those two guys from Monterey. Well, let's start. Hey guys, we're definitely past our time, but Jay, I'm going to start with you. Give us your parting words.
I've enjoyed this. And appreciate you putting it together, Flo. For all you guys from Plainview, it's really great to connect with you again. It really is. And all I'd say is, if Steve, you make it up to Lubbock anytime, look me up. And like I say, I get to see David on a regular basis. We're all big buddies, and I don't get to see Norris too often. I know Moe, I see you occasionally. You're here in Lubbock. We need to get together more. But I'd love to connect with you guys on a more regular basis. That would be great.
Cool. Moe?
Thank you.
Oh, I just, I've done this 3 or 4 times and I always enjoy it, and y'all do a good job with it. And again, it's always good to kind of rehash stuff that you forget and, see all these old guys. And, of course, we're always making, I guess we're getting there. I'm a lot better than I used to be, So, North, it was good to see you. It's been for some reason, I remember us talking a bunch back in the day, maybe because of Jay. And I remember you in a basketball game at Plainview, and we was doing something in the school. Do you remember that?
I do not remember.
I always, like I say, but I always thought of you every now and then when I'd go eat at that barbecue joint. So I'll run out there and tell your mama that we talked.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So that's what I enjoy about these is just meeting folks like this, you know. And like I say, before we did the last one with Steve, I hadn't talked to him in 40 years, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
Been a long
Yeah,
time.
we did it with the Hereford guys, correct?
Yeah. So that's the first time I've seen him in a while. So anyway, I enjoy it. Y'all do a great job. All right, I'm done.
Thank you, Norris.
Thank you, Mo.
Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed this. It's good to see David Hagood. I think the last time I was in Lubbock for the reunion, David, you were sick, so it's good to see you healthy again. And of course, Jay, I always enjoy talking with Jay. He is a funny guy, and just I tell people when they talk about, oh, have you ever seen Friday Night Lights? I say, yeah, we lived that. We understand West Texas football, Pano Dessa Permian, the whole mojo. I hated those people, but great memories from Lubbock, Monterey, and being out in West Texas during that time of football when, now it's all Dallas, Clark, South Lake. But there was a time West Texas was the place to be to play football.
Yeah.
Steve?
Hey, I know that Christy Aday's on. I want to say hi to Christy.
She just
love her
said one
dad.
more.
Love both her mom and dad, and very influential in my life, especially her dad. He is probably the number one reason that I'm a pharmacist today. So shout out to you, Christy. Thanks for listening. I enjoy doing these. It's great to catch up. I mean, golly, you hear names and you remember names, and it's fantastic to kind of refurbish the stories and discuss the things and laugh. And Mo and I, loved each other in high school and hung out and haven't seen each other in 40 years, but it's just like I never left him because he just still makes me laugh today. So I love hearing his stories, and he used to make me laugh in the huddle. So it's not any different. Not any different today than it was, 50 years ago. So,
could you understand Mo and B if they talked at the same time?
Yeah, I could understand them, but
y'all had that contra hit.
I never talked in the huddle. I was trying to get my breath, man.
No, it's great catching up. Lisa, great to see you. Michael, always great to see you.
Cool. Well, thank you, sir. Well, David.
Yeah, thanks again, Flo and Lisa. It's been a lot of fun. I really appreciate it, and I have mixed emotions about Bradic not being on here because I wanted to hear some of his stories, but I think he's the principal reason why I only remember about 3 plays of that 28-0 game, because I think he was beating my head in the whole game. So I'm sort of glad that he's not here, but everything else
Jay
was top-notch,
sabotaged.
so.
I was gonna say I think Jay sabotaged his internet because he's still afraid of him today.
He's probably the same thing. We got some kind of syndrome now because of Robert that probably is just undiagnosed. But thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on.
Well, guys, thank you, and yeah, we love having Mo and Steve on, and then I mentioned to you guys I think on Sunday I definitely want to do an all Monterey. Get like 6 Monterey guys and talk more in depth about Monterey football and living in Lubbock and going to school there in Monterey. And I know that I did a Google on Peon, and it said that Lubbock High is the one started it, and they're the ones who keep saying it. So it's mostly from Lubbock High.
Yeah, we never did like that peon stuff.
Sounds like you did in the shower.
Right. No pun intended.
Well, I know
no kidding.
I know Norris and David didn't say anything about getting peed on.
No, because we didn't go in the shower with the crazy man. It was like this guy.
We knew how to avoid it.
Yeah, well, Steve, I definitely want. I want to get an 84. I think I mentioned that to you and Roy and Brent. Want to get you guys on your own 84 show. I'm working on 85 football as well. Victor is going to have Victor Bradic and some of his guys are going to be on at the end of February. So, so guys, anytime you guys want to join Lisa and I, come on, just shoot us a text.
Sounds good.
We love doing this. This is what I mean, again, next month will be 2 years. I mean, time flies.
Wow. Congratulations.
And we've
Thank you.
had coaches, teachers, choir, band, potheads. I mean, everything. So, but anyway, guys, thank you. And then Mo, I want to definitely not use you, but to have your help to get some more Lubbock guys from football. And I love to have Coach Odom on. I like to have what was Hereford's coach name? Compton. I like to have him on. So
Yeah.
Any way you guys can help us, I'll reach out to you guys. But anyway, guys, thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Lisa. Parting words. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Steve and Mo, always such a pleasure to see you guys and, see our fellow classmates. And gentlemen from Monterey, such a pleasure meeting you this evening. And we're really excited about this podcast. And I just want to close by saying, you mentioned, Norris, about how football's changed and now it's all, the Metroplex and South Lake and everything. But when you guys played, when we were all there participating in sports during our era, West Texas was a big deal. And it was a very charmed time to be in West Texas. And we're all really fortunate to be part of that era. And look at all the friendships that were made and the camaraderie and the great memories of sportsmanship and playoff games. I mean, you were really, really blessed. You were really blessed. And so thank you again for coming on and sharing those stories with us and our viewers.
Lisa, did you ever get a chair?
Did I ever get a chair?
Yeah. Are you still sitting on the floor?
Yes, and we're fixing it. But look, I actually have a mic now. And then today my computer desk broke because I tripped, which is why I logged on late. And so I've got a bolster, 2 bolsters, and 3 blankets I'm sitting on. And my computer is now on the box of my microphone and 2 yoga blocks.
Well, I knew you always sit on the floor. Hurts my back just thinking about it. So
yeah, I mean, this is our second show, I think, with the nice mic and headphones. So
I am married to MacGyver, and he's got to MacGyver my situation here this weekend.
Cool, guys. Again, thank you, Jay. I'm going to reach out to you to get some more Monterey shows. I definitely would like to do an all cheerleader. I mean, anything from Monterey. Okay. We're trying to extend our shows to the other schools in Lubbock and Amarillo and Hartford.
Sounds good.
So. Cool.
Sounds good. Happy New Year to all.
Yes, Happy New
Have a good
Year.
one, boys.
Yeah,
Guys,
thank you.
Good night.
Bye, guys. Great seeing everyone.
care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See y'all later. Exit here. See, get this son of a bitch out.
Oh, Mo.
Mo, you are so funny.
So I like the new circles. It's like you could definitely focuses more on our faces than the other, because you and I had this wide
angle lens,
lens, and then it brings us closer to the screen. So I love this, and the show was good. I mean, Robert, if you can hear me, man, love you, brother. I wish you didn't have those technical difficulties, because I know you would have joined, but there will be more, man. We'll definitely have more, and we'll have you on.
I know. I'm so bummed that didn't work out.
Yeah, and then again, the other 2 love guys, a little issue. So, but it still was a great show. It was a great show,
Yep.
and it was really enjoying hearing the perspective from the Monterey guys.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Cool.
For
Well,
sure.
guys, next, actually not next, this
Thursday.
Thursday, we're gonna have Mr. Steve Olson on our show in STS 30, and I guess few classmates have mentioned what STS means, and it was Lisa's idea. So if you like it, it's her fault. But Lisa, you want to go ahead and tell her about what STS means?
Are we going to reveal today?
Shoot
The shit. And that's what it is. You just come on and shoot the shit with us for half an hour and talk about whatever it is you want to talk about.
Yeah.
It's more
Organic.
subject organic, but also more subject matter, like, talk about your particular field in your career or anything really. Just come shoot the shit with us for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you, Christy. Appreciate your comment there. Yeah. And then, I mean, this is, we mentioned before, this show is focused on the classmate of what they've done since high school and what they're currently doing right now. So again, it's 30 to 45 minutes. And I mean, we may extend to an hour, but our time range is 30 to 45 minutes. So, but anyway, Lisa's gonna be contacting you guys to get you on. So anyway, the STS, shoot
The
shit. 30. All right, good night, guys, and we'll see you in a couple of nights.
Yep. Good night.
Good night. Oh, gotta do the peace and love, and the shit. My camera's up here. Go Knuckle. Good night, everybody.
Good night.